If you're a federal employee retiring in the next few years, do you know exactly how much your first pension will pay you in your retirement? Most employees that we meet with do not, and that uncertainty can cost you thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. I'm Christopher Lee, the founder of Independence Benefits, and as a federal employee, retiring and planning for retirement can feel overwhelming. But once you understand the formulas and eligibility rules of your first pension, it's actually pretty straightforward. So in this video, I'll walk you step by step through the formula and shows you what it actually means for your retirement income. So before we get started, we need to know who actually qualifies for a FERS pension. Now, just to be clear, this video is going to be specifically covering regular FERS employees. If you're under special provisions like LEO, firefighter, or air traffic controllers, your rules are going to be different. We're actually releasing a separate walkthrough video for those special provision retirements. To qualify for a regular FERS pension, you'll need at least 5 years of service. But when you can actually retire with an immediate unreduced pension depends entirely on your age and your years of service. So if you look at this chart on the left-hand side, you can see that there are basically three main categories that make you eligible for an immediate retirement. The first one you see is your MRA. That stands for minimum retirement age. And that's going to be between the ages of 55 and age 57, depending on the year that you were born in. At that checkpoint, you need 30 years of service for a full and immediate retirement. You'll see next to that is age 60. At age 60, that years of service drops down to 20 years of service for a full and immediate retirement. And then finally, at age 62, you actually only need 5 years of service to draw a full FERS unreduced pension. So once we figured out that you are eligible for a pension, the next step is going to be to figure out how that pension is actually calculated using your numbers and years of service. So the first thing to mention on the FERS pension calculation, the first variable we will need is your high three salary. And simply put, the high three is the highest 3 consecutive years of earnings that you've had. What they do is they add those 3 years together, they divide that number by 3, and that gives us the high three salary. That high three is multiplied by your total creditable years of service. And then that number is multiplied by a multiplier, either 1% or 1.1%. Now, for employees who are age 62 or older, retiring with 20 plus years of service, they're going to use the 1.1% multiple. Everyone else is going to use a 1% multiple for their pension calculation. So on this next slide, we'll actually go into some examples so you can see in real numbers how that pension calculation works, and you can begin to start plugging in your numbers as well. So in this example, first of all, we have Jane. Jane is 60 years old, and she has 30 years of service with the VA hospital. Jane's high three salary is $90,000. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that $90,000 high three, we're going to multiply it by 30, which is her years of service, and we'll multiply that number by 1%, giving us $27,000 a year or $2,250 per month. So that $2,250 per month, that is going to be Jane's first pension amount. That's a monthly check she's going to receive for the rest of her life. Now let's look at another example. Below that, we have John, who is 64 years of age, and John has 20 years of service as a civilian Department of Defense employee. John has no prior military service, and he wants to know what his monthly pension will be. So in this example, John's high three average came out to be $100,000. We multiply that by his 20 years of service. And since John is over the age of 62 and he has at least that 20 years of service, we multiply that number times 1.1%, giving us a total of $22,000 per year or a little over $1,800 per month. So you can see, even though John had 10 less years of service than Jane, having that extra 10% multiplier because he was over the age of 62 really made a huge difference and got him a lot quicker to Jane's retirement number. That just goes to show why it is so important to know the rules of how the pension works. That way you can make sure you're maximizing what you're going to be receiving monthly once you retire. So there's a few important things that I just want you to remember. First, your pension isn't the full amount that you'll see in your bank account. You have to factor in deductions for things like health insurance, life insurance, dental and vision, and of course taxes, which will all come out of that pension check. Secondly, if you choose to leave a survivor benefit for your spouse, your pension will be reduced. And in that scenario, if you passed away, that spouse would continue to receive a portion of your pension, depending on which of those survivor benefit options that you elect. And then third, cost of living adjustments or COLAs usually will kick in once you turn age 62, and they're designed to help you keep up with inflation and will generally be a yearly raise that you'll see in your pension amount. So your first pension is only one piece of your retirement income. You also will have Social Security and your thrift savings plan. Those three really combine to give you the full picture of your retirement income when you're retiring from the federal government. So what happens next and how can we help? So this is where setting down for a retirement session can really help. What we do at Independence Benefits is we'll review your first pension. We will actually go in and help you calculate those numbers and see when different ages and years of service will increase your pension amounts. We'll also walk you through all of your survivor benefit options and make sure you understand how those impact your pension and what those will mean for your beneficiaries. And then finally, we'll walk you through Social Security, show you how to apply and start Social Security, as well as give you an estimate of what that Social Security income will look like, and also help you look at TSP and see how that will actually factor into your retirement income as well. On top of all that, we'll go over the paperwork and deadlines that you have for retirement. So, everything from your retirement application to ensuring that you get those beneficiary forms and survivor benefit elections submitted successfully. And we'll answer all questions you have about the process. At Independence Benefits, we don't charge anything for these free consultative sessions, and we're happy to walk you through the whole retirement application process with absolutely zero obligation on your part. So we're just meant to be a resource and a place for you to go to help answer your questions in a timely manner. So I just want to thank you for watching this video today. If you're ready to go ahead and get your individual retirement review scheduled, please reach out to us at this contact information on the screen. That 256-443-9964 is probably the best way to contact us, or you can email me directly at chris@independencebenefits.com. So we look forward to hearing from you and help walking you through your individual retirement goals and application process. And as always, thank you for joining us today.